So it looks like we've also been asked to do 2.8. So fantastic. We will do all of these. Let's go. And hopefully you guys will help me through them all. All right. So looking at the first question, hopefully nice and easy, 2.1, we have 123,983 K plus, I'm going to put it straight into our working out. Hoitzi, yes, you've raised your hand. Hoitzi, what's your question? I can't hear you. Have you unmuted? Wait, so maybe if you can't unmute, I can't hear you. Maybe you could just let us know in the chat. What is your question? Okay. All right, guys, let's continue with this question. Hoitzi, I'll watch out for your question in the chat. Okay, so first things first, guys, we need to make sure that our numbers line up properly. As we can see, they are not the same size numbers. We've got 123,983, and then our next number is 67,000. Okay, Azande, you can most definitely answer. Let me quickly just write down the question. Okay, so we need to make sure that our numbers are lined up. So we always start from this side, okay? And then Azande, the floor is yours. Tell us how you did it.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, I said 3 plus 4 equals 7. Then I did 8 plus 5, which equals 13. And I did put 3 and put the 1 at the top by 9.
Good.
Then said 9 plus 7 equals 17. And then I put the 1 by the 3. Then
Okay.
I said,
so just quickly, you said this 1 plus your 9 plus the 7 gave you 17, right?
yes.
Okay, cool. You just forgot to include the 1 there. Yes, and then you added the 1 on the next one.
Yes, then I said 3 plus 7 equals 11.
Okay, so the 1 plus 3 plus 7
1.
gives you 11, and we carry the 1, yeah.
And then 2 plus 6 plus the 1 equals 9.
Perfect.
And then I put down the 1.
And you put down the 1. Fantastic. And if you did that, guys, you get your mark. Happy days. Well done, Azande. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Perfect. Okay. Induse, do you have a question? Just check for the message on your screen to unmute if you have a question. Induse. Okay. Lishay, yes. What is your question? Would you put your hand down? Okay. Okay, guys. Well done to everyone that got that answer. Yes, indeed. Okay, question 2.2. We are subtracting this time. And again, it's very important that we line up our numbers perfectly. Always write as neatly as possible and try give yourself enough space so you don't get confused with your numbers. Okay, so if we line it up, the 8 is there, then our 2, 3, 6, 9. Okay, and we are subtracting. And Jabu, okay, Lishay, your hand is up. Do you want to help us answer this?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Tell us what to do.
Ma'am, I was gonna I borrowed and 1 from 2.
Okay, so we take 1 from the 2, so we left with 1 there. Then we carry the
Yes,
1
ma'am.
over. Yeah, and that gives us 14, right?
That makes
14.
Yes, ma'am. So
Minus
the answer is 5.
14 minus is 5, yes.
And then I borrowed 1 from the 3 and 2.
Okay, so that makes it a 2, and then that gives us 11.
Yes, ma'am. And then I said 11 minus 6 is equals to 5.
Good.
And then I borrowed another one from 9, ma'am. And that makes 8, and that will make 12 by the other one.
Yes. 12 minus 3 is?
Is 9, ma'am.
9. Perfect. Okay, the next one.
Then 8 minus 2, ma'am, is equals to 6.
Equal to 6. Well done. Oh, for the first time we didn't have to borrow. Yay.
Yes, ma'am. And then I took the 1 and put it there by the 0, ma'am. I borrowed 1 from there.
Okay, and that gives
And
us?
then 10 minus, that's equals to 2, ma'am.
To 2. Perfect. Well done. You did that nicely.
Thank you, ma'am.
All that borrowing was quite a tough one, but well done. Guys, I just noticed something here. Let me just double check the question. Okay, never mind. That was my mistake. Perfectly done. Thank you so much, Lishay. All right. 2.3, a nice multiplication one. And I see so many hands up. Umar, are you going to help us with 2.3? I'm going to ask you to unmute so I can hear your wonderful voice.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
How are you, ma'am?
Good, and you?
I'm okay.
Okay, you ready for this one?
Yes.
Let's hear it.
So I put 4 times 2 is 8.
Okay, good.
2 times 2 is 4.
Mm-hmm.
And 1 times 2 is 2.
Okay, perfect.
Then
what?
the next line, I put 1 0.
Okay, we put 1 0 down straight away. Yep.
And then I put 4 times 3 is 12, and I carry the 1.
Okay, so we put the 2 down. We carry the 1 to the 2 at the top. Yeah.
Then 2 times 3 is 6, plus the 1 is 7.
Okay. Good. And then?
1 times 3 is 3.
Fantastic. Okay, and then what do we do with these two numbers now?
You add it.
Add them together and we get?
8 plus 0 is 8. 4 plus
Good.
3 is 6.
Mm-hmm.
2 plus 7 is 9. And 0 plus 3 is 3.
Fantastic. And our answer is 3,968. Okay, another fantastic mark. Well done.
Thank you, ma'am.
Didn't finish my smiley face there. There we go. Good work. All right, then 2.4. Itandile, are you wanting to answer this question? Oh no, I see all the hands have been dropped. Okay, 3,968. The rain is raining by my side. That is hectic. I've got hectic wind on my side. Where are we at? Okay. Okay, guys, if you want to answer a question, just raise your hand, okay? Because I'm not able to see all the raised hands, plus you asking in the chat. Okay, I'll try my best to, let you answer the one that you really want to answer. Okay, 2.4. We have the square root of 20 plus 5 minus cube root of 64. Who wants to take this one on? Itandile, yes. You have raised your hand.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, this is what I did. I said 20 plus 5, which is 25, and I put 25 as a square root. And then I said, and I put 64 still in its same position, because it's, yes, ma'am. And then I
Yes.
said the square root of 25 is 5, and then the cube root of 64 is 4, because 4 times 4 is yes. And then I said 5 minus 4 is 1.
Fantastic. Well done. That was brilliant work.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this one was worth 2 marks. Okay, so for showing some sort of working out, and then your answer. Well done, Itandile.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, good stuff, guys. We're going through this so nice and quickly. 2.5. Okay, 3 squared minus cube root of 27 plus 12 squared. And I'm going to ask Katleho to please help us with this one.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
I started by saying, since Bodmer says brackets first, I said, what is the cube root of 27, which is equal to 3? So then it is going to be 3 squared minus 3 plus 12 squared. And then I said, since Bodmer says addition first, then subtraction, I said 3 plus 12 squared, and 12 squared is 144. So it's going to be
Yeah.
3 squared minus 147, which is equal to negative 108.
Okay, Katleho. Well done for remembering BODMAS. Okay, but now for you, look at BODMAS quickly, or BEDMAS, whichever one we remember. Okay. So
Yes,
you
ma'am.
said brackets first, which is correct. However, we don't have any brackets in this sum. This is our square. I mean, our cube root. That's not a bracket, but it's fine that you did that. Okay.
So
But
we are going to start with the 3 squared.
yes, so we look at the E in BEDMAS, which is our exponent. So we can do all of them at the same time. So let's sort out the 3 squared. What is the 3 squared?
3 squared is 9.
9, perfect. And then you already told us, what is the cube root of 27?
It is 3.
3, good. And then we're going to say plus, what is 12 squared?
144.
Good. Okay, so we can do all of that in one step. And now that we just have minus and plus, we can just work from left to right. So what is 9 minus 3?
6.
6, good. Plus 144.
150.
Good, fantastic. 150 is our answer. Good, so well done for remembering BODMAS. That's very, very important. Okay, and then just remember when we get to a step like this, when we have negative and positive only, we can just work from left to right. We don't have to do addition first because we can see A first in BEDMAS. But if it's just those two in the sum, we can work from left to right. So then that means we would do the minus first.
Okay, ma'am.
Good, well done. Thank
you,
you.
ma'am.
Okay. Let's have a look at 2.6. Okay, so again, sorry, 2.5 was for 2 marks. So for your working out, and then your answer, 2.6. So we've got 5 squared plus square root of 10 squared minus 3 cubed. Jabulile, do you want to help us with this one?
Hello, ma'am.
Hi. How you doing?
Okay, I'm getting you, ma'am.
I'm good, thanks.
Okay, ma'am. For 2.6, I said 5 squared is 25.
Okay, good.
And then 10 squared is 100. So then for that, I wrote 10.
Good. So we
Good.
could say, you know, work out the 10 squared parts, and then we know the square root of 100 is 10. Good. So we
And
can put
then
Mhm.
1 cube is 1
Just
minus 1.
Perfect.
And then, ma'am, I said 35 minus 1, which gave me 34 as my final answer.
34 is your final answer. Perfect. Well done, Jabulile. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, you guys are on absolute fire today. Again, for 2 marks, showing your working out and your answer. Okay, good work. I'm just going to quickly erase this to just make sure you've got it down. So I'm just going to make some space. Ma, which question are you referring to? Oh, okay, wait, sorry. I see Simone has helped out with that. Fantastic. Okay. I'm going to go back to the top and erase the fantastic work we have done so far. You guys are really proving that it was a very nice test for you. Well done. Please, guys, if you aren't sure what we have done, please ask me to explain if you need. Okay, we are now on 2.7. And I see hands up already. Okay, we've got -3 plus 6. Who wants to do this one? Itandile, yes.
Ma'am, ma'am, when we were at school, our teacher said that we have to take the bigger number and subtract it to the smaller number. So in this case, 6 is the bigger number, which we're going to say 6 minus 3, not
Okay.
6 plus 3. So we're going to say 6 minus 3, which is 3.
Fantastic work. Good. Okay, well done.
Yes, ma'am.
Alternatively, if you guys understand it on a number line, if we have -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, when we were adding, we go from left to right. So I start at my -3 and I want to add 6. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that gives me my +3. Okay, so we're starting in the negatives, but we're adding a much bigger number. So we're going to end with a positive number. Okay, I see a quick question to repeat 2.6. I'll go back to that now. If we have any queries with 2.7, please let me know as well. Okay, guys, for 2.6 quickly, looking at BEDMAS or BODMAS, the first thing to do is deal with our exponents. So we can literally do all of these at the same time. Okay. So 5 squared, which is 5 times 5, gives me my 25 plus. Now I know we jumped over here. So 10 squared, well, the square root of 10 squared, we could work out the 10 squared. 10 times 10 is 100. But then we square root the 100, it's still under the square root sign, which gives us our 10. And that's how we get the plus 10. And then remember, 1 to the power of 3 is the same as saying 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1. And that's how we end up with our -1. We then use BODMAS. It is just addition and subtraction. So we work from left to right. So we did the 25 plus 10 first to give us our 35. We've got our -1 left over, and that is how we get 34. Okay. Just going to quickly check here. Yes, guys, you're welcome to mark this. Obviously, we won't go through all of it today. So the stuff we don't get through, when the memo is sent to you after this boot camp, you can then check your other answers. Okay, and then we'll also show you all the working out as well. The class ends at 2:30, so we still have an hour. Okay, let's quickly erase. Okay. 2.8. Oh, nice, lovely. We've got 2 negatives, 9 minus -8. Azande, let's give you another chance. Let's hear your beautiful voice. Azande, are you there? Okay, Azande, maybe the next one I'm going to ask Ramsey to help us out.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good, ma'am. Ma'am, I got at school, ma'am, the teacher taught us that a negative and a negative equals a positive, ma'am. So then I added 9 plus 8, which gave me the answer of 17, ma'am.
Fantastic. So the key rule there is negative and negative makes a positive. So it becomes 9 plus 8. And the answer is 17. Good job. Thank you, Ramsey.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. And both 2.7 and 2.8 were 1 mark each. So you can give yourselves a beautiful tick because I'm sure you guys got this right. Okay, then 2.9. Okay, we've got 5 times -3. Jabulile, let's ask you. Intandile, I see you. But you'll have another chance soon. Let's ask Jabulile for now. Hey, no. Okay, Sihle, your time to shine. Let's hear it.
Hi, Miss.
Hi.
Is it negative 15?
Sorry, can you say that again? You broke up a bit.
Miss, is it negative?
Oh, you keep breaking up, but I hear negative.
Miss, negative 15.
Negative 15, fantastic, exactly. Okay, it's because this is a positive 5, a positive and a negative give you a negative. And then we say 5 times 3 is 15. Good work, Seedling. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Right. Okay, so again, that was for 1 mark. Itandile, you have got 2.10. -7 plus -4 times -2. Okay, let's just make sure you unmute it.
Oh, when we said in class that a negative plus a negative is equal to a positive, so I said 7 plus 4, which was what the step did I do? I said it was 11. Sorry, it's 11. Then I said times -2, which gave me -22.
Okay, so Itandile, I'm going to remind you about something quickly. BODMAS. So we needed to do something else first before you said 7 plus 4. BODMAS. What's the first letter in BODMAS? It's brackets. Okay, so we do have some brackets. We don't have any exponents. We don't have any division, but we do have multiplication that we need to do first. So we need to be doing this part first. So do you want to try again?
So, ma'am, a -4 times -2 is +8.
Good. Okay, so it's negative times negative, which gives us a positive. So it's positive, and then 4 times 2 is 8.
8.
Good. And then we have -7 or -7 plus 8, which gives us?
It gives us, which it's gonna give us +1.
+1. Fantastic work. And that was a lovely 2-mark question, okay, for realizing and doing the multiplication first and then getting the correct answer. Who got confused with that one? That was quite a confusing one, wasn't it?
That's all
Okay.
2 marks.
Okay, I can see quite a few of us are saying me, that really tricked me. Okay, so remember BODMAS all the time, okay, because we didn't have to worry about that for the previous 2, and then all of a sudden we had to now remember multiplication first, okay, so as long as we're learning from that mistake, then that's good. Okay, so just to throw another one in there, let's try this one. So this is an extra special question. It's not in your paper, so let's write this down. I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to complete it. Okay, so well done, Umar, for getting it right. Fantastic work. Your brain is on fire. Working really hard. Sibu Siso? See you raise your hand. What's your question? Zibu, are you there? Okay. If you have a question, just let me know in the chat. Okay. Oh, I'm seeing hands going up and then going down. Ramsey, let's hear from you.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello. Okay, so what? Yes.
I first broke the question into pieces, ma'am.
Okay.
I
And
first said
Mhm.
minus 6 plus 2, which gave me an answer of minus 8.
Oh, Ramsey, you fell right into the trap again. BODMAS. What must we do first?
Oh, that multiplication, ma'am.
There we go. So what are we doing first?
You positive 2 times negative 3, ma'am.
Fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to keep my -6 for now. Okay, and positive times a negative. What's a positive times a negative?
It gives us a negative.
Negative. And 2 times 3 is
6, ma'am.
6. And then we've got our +1. All right, now let's go. What do we do next?
And then we say minus 6 minus the 6, ma'am. The other 6, ma'am.
Which gives you what?
0, ma'am.
-6 minus 6. It's not -6 plus 6.
Oh, he's just
Ooh.
minus 12, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
There we go. Okay, and then we +1. What is -12 plus 1?
It's minus 13, ma'am.
I'm going to ask you to think about that one again.
Yes, ma'am. It's minus the yeah, ma'am. It's minus 11, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
Well done. There we go. So you know it. I think you just maybe rushing through it potentially. You're just not seeing the signs. You're just rushing through, reading through the signs. So just make double sure when you do your test or when you do practice that you've double checked that you're looking at the right sign. Okay.
Will do, ma'am.
Good. Well done, Ramsey. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
You can say minus or negative. -11, -11, same. And Seatley, oh, now I get it. Fantastic. I'm glad you get it. Okay. I think we should do another special one until we are not falling into this trap. Okay. I'm seeing some light bulbs happening here. Light bulb moments. Good. Okay, another special question. Okay, so we've got there we go. Quickly write it down and do it for me. Yay, I'm glad we're having these light bulb moments. This is good. This is what we're here for. Lungawa, yes. Just going to ask you to unmute quickly.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, what question are we in?
I'm just giving you an extra question to do because I see that we were struggling a little bit with BODMAS and our negative signs and positive signs.
Okay, ma'am.
So it's just an extra question for you guys to do. Sunday, what do you mean? Get to ask you questions on anything else in math. I can see that you guys are reminding each other to not forget BODMAS. If anything, walk into your test and just say BODMAS the whole time. Write it down as soon as you get your test. Okay, Sitle, let's hear from you. No, put your hand down. Okay. Who else wants to try this question for me? Lungawa, you gonna try it? Did you raise your hand? Or did you not put it down? Hoitzi, yes. No? Atenda, let's hear from you.
So, ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes.
So, ma'am, isn't it's Bodmer. So we start from the brackets -2 plus 8. I got -6.
Let's try again. -2 plus 8. So
No, ma'am, it's
not -6, but
-10.
Okay, let's look at a number line quickly. So I've got my -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so now I'm on -2. Remember, when I'm adding, I'm going to the right. So I'm adding 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What is that?
It's 6.
Positive 6. Good.
6.
Hey, nice. Positive 6. And then we say times by -3 or -3. And what do we get?
So we say +6 times 3, 10 times -3, which will give us -18.
Good, because it's positive times negative, so it's negative, and 6 times 3 is 18. Good job. Thank you so much, Tenda. Okay, well done. Okay, guys, it looks like, yeah, we're getting the hang of things. We might need to practice some integers and bod math some more if this is still a bit confusing for you. Everyone here is so resilient. What an adjective. Nicely done. Okay, guys, so there we were dealing with our exponents, our whole numbers, and our integers. I want you to quickly take a little moment to stretch, maybe have a sip of water, clear your mind a little bit. Have a quick little stretch, sip of water, let's go. Or juice, whatever you're drinking. Can see all of you following that. Nice. Okay. Now we are looking at question 4. Now, based on time, guys, we have to choose very, very important ones, okay? Because I also want to do a little bit of algebra as well. Okay, so looking at question 4, is there any particular one? It's too cold for a sip of water. Where are you in South Africa that it's so cold? Okay. Makes sense. I think Gauteng is really hot. I'm not sure about, I believe it's very hot in Gauteng. I'm in the Western Cape. It's sunny, but lots of wind. It's a little bit cool here. Okay, so I see definitely raining in the Eastern Cape as well. Okay, sure. Okay, so we're all experiencing different worlds at the moment. That's insane. Beautiful South Africa. Okay, so guys, let's do this. I'm going to do a select few. Okay, I know quite a few of you are asking for all, but there is a lot for question 4. So as we can see, let's do A. We're going to do A quickly. We'll do B. Okay, C is another minus in, a negative minus in fractions. So that's the same, that's similar to A. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. Then D, we've got mixed fractions plus mixed fractions. As we can see, E is similar. It's the same thing, just different numbers. Okay, and then F, quite a few have asked for F, and that's slightly different. So we're going to focus on those so long. Okay, and if we have time, we'll go back to C and E. Okay, so I'm going to do these on the side here. Okay, so first one, we have 5 over 8 minus 3 over 7. Now, there is one rule we always need to remember when we add in. We add in and subtracting fractions. What do we need to do first? Itandile, yes. Just let's unmute.
Ma'am, we need to find LCD, which is lowest common denominator.
Good. Fantastic. So the lowest possible number that our two denominators can go into, 8 and 7. Itandile, do you know what that is?
Yes, ma'am, it's 56.
56. Okay. Good stuff. Well done. So now what do? We've got our LCD, so that now means our new denominators are going to be 56 and 56.
Yes, ma'am. So we're going to say 56. How many times is 56 going to 8, which is 7? 7 times 5 is 35.
Okay, and quickly, right? So we know we need to change this 8 to 56. To get from 8 to 56, we have to times by 7. What I do to the bottom, I do to the top. So that gives me my 5 times 7. Good.
Yes, ma'am.
Itandile, what did you say 5 times 7 is?
35, ma'am.
35. Perfect. And then again, we look at our next fraction. So I keep my minus sign in the middle there. How do I go from 7 to 56? What do I do to that 7? I times by
8.
8. Okay. So what I do to the bottom of the fraction, I do to the top. Times 8 is?
24.
24. And now that our denominators are the same, we can now finally minus my numerator. What is 35 minus 24?
It's 11 over 56.
11 over 56. Good job. Okay, and that was, yeah.
And then we're going to convert that into a mixed fraction, which is going to be 5, 1 over 56.
We can't convert that to a mixed fraction.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
And we also don't need to go back to a mixed fraction. We can leave it as a fraction or improper fraction. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
If you do that, that's also okay. But good thinking. Okay, so that was 1 mark for getting our fractions over the same denominator and 1 mark for our final answer. That was quite a tricky one because it was big numbers that we had to work with. But well done, Itandile. Good job.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hey, I see everyone saying the same denominator in the chat. All right. Okay, everyone giving us their weather updates. That is perfectly fine. We're still focused on our math. Okay, so next one. 3 over 5 plus 2 over 3. Again, because we are adding, we need to find an LCD. And I'm going to ask Tandor to please help us with this one.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good, ma'am.
Okay, so what is our LCD here, Tandor?
Ma'am, I said 15.
15 is correct. Well done. And then what do we do?
So, ma'am, for 3 over 5, I said 3 times 3, which is 9, and then 5 times 3, which is 15.
Good. Okay, so we're times by 3 on the side. Good. So we are going to have denominator of 50. Okay, what's 3 times 50?
Then ma'am, 2 times, and then 3 times 3, which is 9, and then 2 times 3, which is 6.
Okay. For the second fraction, we need to convert, well, get 3 to equal 15. So what do we need to times by?
Oh, ma'am, I'm so sorry, ma'am. 2 times 5, which is 10. Sorry.
Good, no worries. So we times in by 5, times in by 5. So that is 10 over 15. Good.
Yes, ma'am.
So what does that give us?
Then I got 19 over 15.
19 over 15. Good.
Which gave me 1 and 4 over 15.
Okay, so you guys can change it to a mixed fraction or you can leave it as 19 over 15. Okay, but very, very well done. Thank you, Tando.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, guys, I know fractions are really, really tough, but we just need to keep practicing it. Okay, keep practicing it. The difficult ones are the adding and subtracting because we have to remember an LCD and then change our denominators, but just keep practicing. Okay, so we're going to do D. Okay. So again, it starts off as a mixed fraction, but we are essentially adding. So we're going to be following the same rule again. So before we can do anything, let's just quickly write down the question. So D is 1 and 4 over 3 plus 3 and a quarter. Jabulile, do you want to help us out?
Yes, may I speak? Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
Ma'am, I'm gonna try my best to answer this question.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. For D, I changed it into an improper fraction first. So then I said 3 times 1 is 3 plus 4 is 7 over 3.
Okay, good. So we say 1 times 3, and then that answer we add it to 4. Good. So 1 times 3 is 3 plus 4 is your 7 over 3. Good.
And then I did the same. I said 4 times 3 is 12 plus 1 is 13.
Yeah. And we keep the denominator of
4.
4. Good. Now that we've got improper fractions, what's the next step?
Ma'am, I changed my denominators to the same number.
Good. Which is?
12. I made both of them. I changed both of them into 12.
Good. So LCD is equal to 12.
So then 7 times 4 is 28 over 12.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. So we times by 4, so 28 over 12 plus, and then what do we times the next fraction by?
13 times 3 is 39 over 12.
Fantastic. Okay, 39 over 12. Okay, now that the denominators are the same, we can just say?
Can add it. I got 67 over 12.
67 over 12. Well done.
Okay.
Well done. Thank you so much, Jabulile. Guys, just remember that you cannot use a calculator. So if you do not know how to work out 28 plus 39, you need to be doing your addition on the side here, your little addition sum. Okay. It's quite a big number. You might not be able to do it in your head, and there's nothing wrong with showing you're working out on the side there, your little addition or your subtraction sum. Okay. Now, guys, question E is very similar to D. It's just different numbers. You do the same thing. Convert to improper fraction first, get your LCD, and then you add your fractions together. Okay, so we're not going to go through that, but the memo shows you all the steps. So don't stress. Okay, let's go on to question F because that one's slightly different. No, you can't simplify. If it was maybe 68 over 12, then sure, you can definitely simplify that fraction. But you can't find a number that goes into both 67 and 12. But good that you're thinking about simplifying, because a lot of us forget about that. Okay, guys, question if 7 over 6, 1 over 3. What does that beautiful word of mean? Ungawa, yes, tell me, what does it mean?
It means multiplication.
Multiplication, good. And I'm seeing that answer coming through in the chat. Well done, Kaklefo, Sasa, and Tando. It is times, multiplication. Okay, so now we are timesing. So now remember, plusing and minusing fractions, we need an LCD. That's the hard work. It's not hard, but it's long. Okay, so these are grouped together. We need to find an LCD. Okay, but when we are timesing, okay, we don't need to find an LCD. We just take our, well, let me actually ask. Itandile, yes. What multiplications?
Multiplication, we say top times top, bottom times bottom.
Fantastic. Top times top. So 7 times 1 is?
7.
7. And bottom times bottom. 6 times 3 is?
18.
18. Good. We can't simplify the fraction because there's not a number that goes into 7 or 18 that we can divide by. So that is our answer.
Ma'am, can't we do a mixed fraction and say 2/4 over 18?
No, we need mixed fraction. We can only convert a mixed fraction if we're dealing with improper fraction. So if it was the other way around, we need to have the bigger number on top for a mixed fraction. Okay, so we see how many times 7 goes into 18, which is twice. And then we've got a remainder of 4 over 7. So it must be the bigger number on top.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now again, guys, question G and H are multiplication. We are timesing fractions, so similar to what we just did, okay? We take top times top, bottom times bottom. So I'm not going to do G and H because that's very similar. Let's do an I. It looks like we know how to convert to improper fractions. So let's do J. Question J. Okay. So J, 5 over 8 of 64 kgs. How am I going to approach this question, Jabulile? Or did you just forget to put your hand down? Okay. Guys, just for time-wise, I'm going to do this one with you, okay? So 5 over 8 of 64. We know that of means times or multiply, okay? And we say times by 64. But we always want to have a fraction times a fraction. So in order to do that, I'm going to put 64 over 1. I'm going to make it a fraction. I know, Uma, I know. We'll get there. We'll do as much as we can. I know it's very sad. It's not enough time. Okay, so we want a fraction times a fraction. So if you've got a whole number, you put it over 1. That's the important thing to remember here. Okay, make your 64 kilograms a fraction. And then we do our normal rule of multiplying fractions, top times top. So 5 times 64 is 320 over 8. And this we can simplify because 8 actually goes into 320 exactly 40 times. Okay, so again, if you don't know what 5 times 64 is, in your head, you're going to do your little 64 times 5 calculation over here to give you your 320. And if you don't know how to simplify that, you will do your division 8. How many times is 8 going to 320? And you'll get your answer of 40. And I want to know, what is 5 over 8 of 64 kgs? It is 40 kgs. Nice, Katlego. Okay. Good job. All right, specifically, guys, I want to look at, which I think will be the hardest. Again, the memo will show you exactly how everything is worked out, so you can go and check that. Okay, but I do need to move on. So I'm not, Itanelia, what is your question? Let's hear it.
Ma'am, I was asking, can't you convert 64 kgs and make it into 64,000 kilograms?
You want to make it 64,000 kilograms?
Yes, ma'am. Isn't it going to get you the same answer? Because that's what I got. I got 40,000 kgs. Kilograms.
No. So what you did there by saying 64,000, you converted it to grams. And then you got 40,000 grams, which isn't wrong. 40,000 grams, not kilograms. That is right, but you didn't need to convert to grams. You can just leave it as kgs, okay?
Yes.
So it's not wrong because you put it into grams and it's the right answer in grams, but you don't need to do that. That was just a little unnecessary, but you got the right working out. Well done. Anam, yes. Anam?
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
When you're done with the lesson or when you have time, can you please explain 1.6 and 1.10 to me, the ratios?
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that at the end of the lesson. Okay. Will you just remind me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Good. Okay, guys. Specifically, because I want to also go into algebra just now, just for a little bit, quick little recap on algebra. I think what I want to focus on is just quickly times in decimals and then subtracting decimals. Adding and subtracting is the same method. Okay, so I want to focus on those two specifically. Jabulile, yes, you have a question?
Oh, ma'am, I don't have a question. I just wanted to help with E.
You want to help with E?
Yes, the multiplication of the decimal fraction and the decimal.
Do you not want to help me with B rather?
My sister said she's willing to help with B.
Okay, let's hear B because I think this one's a little bit harder than E. So I want to focus on this one. Okay.
Just use the help. Okay. Yes.
Hi, ma'am. Hi.
Hi.
Hi,
Okay, guys, can I talk?
Yes.
You can speak. We can hear you.
So, ma'am, you're gonna say 94,61 times 32,4. Zero. Gonna say 0 because there's no number under the 1.
Okay, so wait, are you writing it like this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm going to change things up a little bit. I'm going to tell you a step that you can do. So when it comes to times in decimals, and this is why I wanted to do this one specifically, you're going to take the commas out, okay? We are going to take that comma out and that comma out. So that leaves me with 9,461 times by 324. But now we must just remember, how many decimal places do we have in total? We have 1, 2, 3 decimal places. So once I'm done with my multiplication, I will then put in my comma, and I know that I need 3 decimal places. DP means decimal places. So you're going to do multiplication as normal without the commas, and then we'll put the comma in at the end. How does that sound?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. So let's do the first times. 4 times 1 is?
4.
4, good. And 4 times 6 is?
18.
4 times, that's 3 times 6.
That's 28.
No. Close. 24.
24.
Good. So I say 4, and then I carry my 2 to the top there. What is 4 times 4?
4 times 4 is 16.
16 plus my 2 is?
18.
18, good. And I carry 1, which is? 1 plus 9 is?
10.
Sorry, what am I saying? 4 times 9 is?
4 times 9 is, I think it's 36.
It is 36. Plus 1 is?
37.
37. Sorry, I forgot the whole times in by 4 part there. Thank you. Good. Okay, now we're looking at our 2. What do I start my next line off with?
There's 0.
0. Good. What is 2 times 1?
7 is 2.
2. 2 times 6?
2 times 6 is 12.
Well, good. And we carry our 1 over. What's 2 times 4?
2 times 4 is 8.
Plus 1 is?
9.
9. Good. And then 2 times 9 is?
2 times 9 is 18.
18. Good. Sure. This is quite the question. Now we are looking at our 3. What do I start my next line with?
With 2 zeros.
2 zeros. Good. 3 times 1 is?
3.
3. 3 times 6 is?
18.
18. Carry the 1. 3 times 4?
3 times 4 is 12.
12 plus 1 is?
13.
13. Carry my 1. 3 times 9 is?
3 times 9 is 27.
Plus 1?
28.
28. Sure. Your multiplication skills are amazing. Well done. That was tough.
So then, ma'am, you're going to say 4 plus 0 is 4.
Mm-hmm.
Then 4 plus 2 is 6.
6, good.
8 plus 2 plus 3 is 12. You're going to write the 2, you're going to carry the 1. You're going to put the 1 by the 7.
Okay, wait. So 8 plus 2 plus 3 is 13. Carry the 1. 1 plus 7 plus 9 plus 8?
1 plus 7 plus 9 plus 8 is 25.
Okay, so 5, and then we carry 2. Yeah? And then we get?
Stop it.
13. You get 13. 18 plus 3, 16. 16.
16.
16.
I'm so confused. Okay, so we get 16, we carry 1.
10. 10.
Ma'am, is there someone else unmuted?
Yeah, I don't know who is unmuted, but I can hear your thinking. Please just make sure that you're muted. Okay, then Jabulile or Jabulile's sister, what is 1 plus 1 plus 8?
1 plus 1 plus 8 is 10.
10, good. And then we carry our 1.
And
And what's
then
1 plus 2?
3, so it's 3.
Good. Now, we have gotten our answer. But because we had decimals, we need to remember that our answer needs to have 3 decimal places. So we always start at the end here, and we put 3 decimal places in. 1, 2, 3. So our comma goes in there. So my answer is 3065, comma 364.
Yes.
Well done. Amazing.
Ma'am, can I help with E?
We don't have time to do E. Let's see after some algebra if we have time to do E specifically, okay? Because it's exactly the same, so I don't want to, waste time.
Okay.
Okay, but we can maybe check after the lesson if you got it right, okay?
Okay.
Oh, nice. Look at these lovely comments. Thank you. I'm glad that you are having a really good lesson. And then specifically, okay. Do you guys want to do G? Is that what we want to do? Let's do G. Okay. Guys, I really do want to get to algebra. We're going to have 10 minutes to do algebra. Okay. Let's have a look at G. I know this is quite a lot of your marks, so I'm trying my best to get through all of it. Okay, but again, guys, the memo explains it very nicely. Okay, G. But this is a very good question, very good practice question. 10% of, what's it, 240? Yeah, 240 Rand. Again, we see this beautiful word of, and we know that of means times. Okay, now, Uma, stop stressing me out and stop stressing yourself out. We will do what we can. We are learning anyway, regardless. Okay, Itandile. Let's go. What is 10%? How can we write 10% that's going to help us out with this calculation? Let's make sure that you're unmuted.
Ma'am, 10% of 240 is basically it's 24, but then this is how you get the calculations, which is going to be 10 over 100 times 2.
Wait, pause. So guys, just remember, percentage basically means that amount over 100. Okay, and of means times. Okay, carry on. Itandile.
We're going to make 240 over 1.
Good, because we want fractions times fractions, so we say over 1.
So, ma'am, we're going to say top times top, bottom times bottom, which is going to be 2,400 over 100.
Good.
Which is, we're going to cross out our 2 zeros from top and bottom.
Yes, so we have a 0 there, so we can cross out one at the top, one at the bottom, one at the top. So we're left with 24 divided by 1, which gives us
24.
24 Rand. That is very, very, very good work. Well done. Guys, I hear you. I hear you in the comments. Okay. We're going to have a quick look at some algebra, and then maybe we can get to, I think it was E and F that you guys are wanting to. Quick break, literally have a sip of water, move your body a little bit. Okay. Because we've got to give the last 15 minutes all we've got, okay? But I have a feeling we'll do really well. Okay. Now, guys, with algebra, okay, let's have a quick look. I think we can answer 6.1 very, very quickly. So you guys are you're gonna drop me your answers in the chat to go quickly. First one, we are looking at 3a plus 2c minus 4. A says, how many terms are in this expression? Let me see in the chat. How many terms do we see?
One.
Ngawa, yes, that is the answer I'm looking for. Okay, guys. Terms are separated by a plus and a minus. Can you see we have a plus there and a minus? So that means 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms. So we have 3 terms in this expression. If I had a plus 4, for example, there as well, that would make a 4th term because it's separated by a plus if I had to do that. Okay, so as long as you see a plus and a minus, that is separating terms. Anam, yes, you have a question.
Oh, no, ma'am. it was just raised up for something else, sorry.
Okay, no stress. Okay, what is the value of the constant? Let me see in the chat. Let me see in the chat. Don't worry if you were confused, as long as you understand now. What is the value of our constant? What is our number not attached to a variable? This is our constant over here. So our constant is -4. Good, Kahlefo. Okay, now you know this is our constants at the end without a variable attached to it. Okay. Then it says, what is the value of the expression if A is equal to 2 and C is equal to 5? So if I go to the side here, I'm going to rewrite this expression, 3A plus 2C, not equals, -4. And now they're telling me A is actually equal to 2. So I'm going to put 2 in A's place. Okay, because it's 3 times A, so it's 3 times 2 plus 2, and they tell me C is actually 5. Remember, 2C is the same as 2 times C. So we say 2 times 5 minus 4. And now we do BODMAS. So that means we are multiplying first. So it's 3 times 2 gives me 6 plus 2 times 5 gives me 10 minus 4. And then we just work left to right because it's only plus and minus. So it's 16 minus 4. So your answer is 12. Good, Kakleho. Nice, Itadile. I see a lot of, oh, now I know. Oh, okay, that makes sense, which is really good, guys. It means you're learning something. Okay. Was that okay? If not, let me know. Now it says, write these algebraic expressions in their shortest form. Now, if we look at 6.2a, how? Please explain. And C, is that what I'm explaining? Jabulile, you also have a question? Let's ask.
Oh, no, ma'am. I wanted to give you 2.6a in the shortest form.
Okay. Okay, quickly do that one for me, and then I'm going to go back to C. So write it in the shortest form. How do we do that?
Okay.
Yeah. What do we do?
Ma'am, the 2 times b is supposed to be 2b minus 4.
Good. So instead of rewriting times and minus can be shortened for us in algebraic fractions. So not times and minus, times and divide, apologies. Times and divide can help us write things in a shorter form. Positive and minus is what it is. We can't make that shorter. So by saying 2 times b, a shorter way of writing that out would be just 2b, because 2 times b is 2b minus 4. Good. Okay. Now I have had a question to just re-explain.
So it will be 3m divided by 8.
Yes, good. We'll go to that one now. Guys, just make sure you're on mute for now, please. Okay, so I'm just re-explaining C. So they tell us with C, we've got our expression 3a plus 2c minus 4. Now, they've given us a value for a. It's not a anymore. It's actually 2. So now we can work this out. So now I'm going to say 3, but now instead of writing a, I'm going to say 2. But I say 3 times 2 because remember 3a is the same as 3 times a. Okay? Now they've also given us a value for C. So it's not C anymore, it's 5. C actually equals 5. So I say 2 times 5. Because remember, 2C is 2 times C minus 4. And then you just work it out using BOD mass. Okay, so 3 times 2 is my 6. Plus 2 times 5 is 10. Minus 4, and that's 16 minus 4, which will give me my 12. So all we were doing there was substituting values actually into my expression. Okay. Okay. Okay, guys, so B. The sign that can help us shorten this would be our divide. And I think some of us answered that already. Claire, yes, let's hear from you.
Miss, I said 3M. Miss, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah.
Miss, I said 3M and then over N.
Okay, why did you add 3? Why did you put 3 and M together?
Miss, since it's 3 plus M.
Yeah, it's 3 plus M. So we have to keep them separate. 3 plus M, but we do say over N. So that part was correct. Good job.
Oh, yeah, nice. Yeah.
Makes sense. If it was 3 times M, then sure, 3M. Okay, well done. Okay, guys, looking at C, I'm just going to do C and then we're going to move on. Okay, so all of its times, so we can squish all of that together. Okay, but we can actually combine these numbers. So it would be 3 times 4, which is 12, and then B, C is the answer. Let's see if we got that in the chat. Yes, the class is ending in a few minutes. Okay, I hope that C made sense because we could combine, we could say, what is 3 times 4? Shorten that. 3 times 4 is 12. And then we just put B, C afterwards. Okay, then, guys, 6.3 is similar to what we did with question C over here. So that's some more substituting in. We are not going to focus on that. I would like to do 3 questions from 6.4. We might go over time, so hopefully you guys can stay for a little bit, just a few more minutes. I specifically think we need to do E. Let's do A to ease us into it. And okay, I'm looking for constructive feedback here. All of you are just stressing me out with the time. Okay, I'm going to do D. I think D is a goodie. Okay, so let's have a look at A. Anam, yes. Are you going to help me? What happened? Nope, lost you there. Hoitzy. Just unmute so I can hear you.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Can I please ask a question? Are we going to continue tomorrow?
No, we're not.
When are we going to continue?
So there's another lesson next week, but that will be based on paper 2 type. We're not going to be able to do all of this stuff today, but you will get the memo. And the memo will show you the steps.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, guys. To save time, I'm just going to explain this one for us. Okay. We want X by itself. We've got an equal sign in the middle. We've got an equation going here. So now I want X on the one side and I want my numbers on the other side of my equal sign. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 5 to the other side. Okay. And I remember we always do the opposite operation. So because it's positive 5, you're going to say negative 5. And what you do on the one side of the equal sign, you do on the other. Okay, so that means my 5s cancel out. I'm left with 2x equals 14 minus 5, which is 9. Okay, and then I need to get rid of this 2. But remember, 2x is the same as 2 times x. So I need to do the opposite operation. So the opposite operation would be divide. What I do on the one side, I do on the other. So I cancel out my 2's and I'm left with x is equal to 9 over 2. And you guys can make that a mixed fraction if you want to. But I think you guys did well with that one, I think, okay? Okay, then D. Itandile, I'm saving E for you, okay? I see you very excited. But we need to save some time. So D is 22 minus P is equal to 9. Okay, and again, I want my letter, my P on one side, my numbers on the other side. Okay, so I am going to take my 22 to the other side. So because it's positive 22, I'm going to say negative 22 or minus 22, minus 22. That leaves me with negative P, and 9 minus 22 is 13. Negative 13. Now this one's quite new because we don't really deal with this often. I've got a negative P. I don't want negative P. So in order to do that, I have to say divide by minus 1. And what I do on the one side, I do on the other. So you always divide by minus 1 if you've left with a negative variable. Okay? So this crosses out the negative. Because remember, anything divided by 1 is itself, but the negatives cancel each other out because negative divided by negative is positive. So I'm left with positive P. And again, negative 13 divided by negative 1 is 13. Okay, then Itandile, let's do the last one. Question E, I'm going to do on the side here. X over 12 equals 3. Itandile, your time to shine, your last moment of fame. Let's go.
Ma'am, so I said x over 12 is equal to 3 over 1.
Okay.
Which it got me, so I said x times 1, which was 1x, and I said 12 times 3, which gave me 36 over 1. And because the other side we need x, we don't need y, so I said over 1 both sides. Where it was 1x, I crossed out 1 with the bottom one, and I said x is equal to 36 because 1 is divided by.
Nandile, if we were dealing with fractions, adding and subtracting fractions, that would have been a perfect answer. But you didn't even need to think that deep into it. All I want is x by itself. I need to get rid of this 12, right? That's all I need to do, get rid of 12. Remember, I'm dividing by 12 here. This is dividing by 12. So to get rid of it, I times by 12. What I do on the one side of the equal sign, I do on the other. So now I've got rid of 12 because I times by 12. So that leaves me with x. And 3 times 12 is 36. Yeah. So you see, very good work that you were thinking about fractions, but this wasn't a fractions question that we had to worry about.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it looked confusing because it was in fraction form, but in essence, it was just x divided by 12.
Yes, ma'am.
But well done. Did very, very well today. Okay, yes, guys, you're welcome to leave the lesson. It was Very, very wonderful to meet all of you. And I'm sorry that we couldn't get through everything. It is impossible to get through all of this in an hour and a half. So I did try highlight important ones I thought that you would struggle with and needed some explanations. Okay, but again, you will be getting the memo and it shows you all the steps and then you can go and practice that. Okay, and it was really, really wonderful to meet all of you. You guys were amazing, super awesome. It was nice hearing all of your voices and you guys did very, very well. And I'll see you guys next week, but we'll be doing paper 2 stuff. Okay. Bye, everyone. Have a good weekend. Practice this paper and make sure you check your answers when you get the memo. Bye, everyone. Have a great day. Yes, and go watch the rugby and enjoy. Thanks, Lachey. Bye. Bye to Tinder. Bye, Boyi. Nice to meet all of you guys. I know that... I can't remember now. Anam, do you have a question? Bye, Junior.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
You remember you said I must remind you for 1.6 and 1.10.
Yes, thank you. I was wondering, I forgot that it was you. So thanks for reminding me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's quickly go do, oh wait, it's not on here, so I can just go to the bottom. You have the paper with you?
Yes, ma'am, I have the paper.
Okay. So let's just want to quickly make some space for us. Why is it not erasing? One point?
1.6.
Okay, and then 1.10.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if there's anyone still here wanting to listen to that, you're welcome to. Okay, I don't know what is happening. Everything is just freezing. It's like, nope, it's time to go. Give me 2 seconds.
Yes, ma'am.
My pencil just stopped working, so let's just get that sorted. Okay. Does it work on here? Yeah. Okay, just bear with me, Anam, because yeah, my pencil stopped working. So now it says Sanele and Karabo share 40 sweets in the ratio 2:3 respectively. How many sweets will Sanele receive? So we are sharing a ratio. Okay, when we share a ratio, so our ratio is, so I'm writing this with my, wait, let's just try here. 2:3. When we share a ratio, we add our 2 numbers together. And now remember, they mentioned which person first in the story?
Sanele.
Sanele. So Sanele will be above the 2 and Karabo will be above
the 3.
Always. So whoever's mentioned first is the first number in the ratio. Okay.
Yes.
Now when we share ratios, we add the number together, the 2 ratio numbers together, which is 2 and 3. Okay, what's 2 plus 3?
5.
So that means Sanele is actually 2 out of 5.
And
Karabo
is 3 out of 5.
Is 3 over 5. Good.
Yes, ma'am.
And now we are sharing sweets. So we'd say 2 over 5 times 40.
40.
Good. And remember, when we want fractions to times together, we put it over 1.
Wow.
So we could do the same for Karabo, but they didn't ask about Karabo. I could also say times by 40 for Karabo. They just want to know how many sweets Sanele has. Okay. So what is 2 times 40?
80.
80. And then 5 times 1?
5.
5. So we've got 80 over 5. And if we divide that, what do we get? let me help you out, just because, yeah, time. 16. So that means your answer will be A. Okay, so whenever you're sharing something between someone with ratios, this is the rule you always follow. You go and label who's who in the ratio, you add the ratio numbers together, and then you go and put that person's number over. So 2/5, 3/5, and then you times by whatever you're sharing.
Yes, ma'am.
Makes sense.
Can you give me some time to copy this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hunga, are you still on here? Okay, no. Are you done?
Thank you, ma'am.
Perfect. Okay. Those of you that are still here, you're welcome to ask questions about this as well. Okay, and we're just going to also do the other ratio question, which is 1.10, and then we can call it a day because your brains must be fried. But you're welcome to ask if you don't understand what I'm explaining. Okay. Yeah, apologies. I don't know why my pencil just stopped working. So it's not the greatest handwriting. Okay, so question 1.10. We need to figure out the simplified version of 28 is to
14
is to 49. Okay, so when we simplify a ratio, all we do is find a number that goes into every single one of those. So if we look at 28, 14, 49, what do you think is a number that can go into all of them?
7.
7. So we're going to go and divide each of them by 7. So if I say 28 divided by 7, 14 divided by 7, 49 divided by 7. What is 28 divided by 7?
3. 4.
4, good. So that means my new number is 4. 14 divided by 7 is? 2, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And 49 divided by 7? Nicely, Shay.
7.
7. And can we see one of those options there?
Yes, ma'am.
It'll be C. Okay, so those are the two common kinds of questions they can ask you with ratios. So when you're simplifying, also like fractions. Now
Yes,
remember,
ma'am.
if you had like 21, okay, no, that won't, well, yeah, 21/7. If you had to simplify that, obviously you can see that that would be 3, but you find a number that can go into both. Let me actually think of another example because that one was terrible. Let's say 28/16. How do we simplify a fraction? We find a number that goes into both the numerator and the denominator. So we could say 4. 4 goes into 28, 4 goes into 16. So a simplified version would be 7/4. So it's the same concept. When we simplify ratios, we find a number that goes into each of them. And then we divide by that number and we get a smaller ratio.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for those questions.